Let's settle in. Let's get comfortable in the space where we have arrived. Let's gently cast our gaze down or close our eyes. And then as you begin to just settle into your breath, really noticing the in-breath and the out-breath, just kind of notice, even though you're not looking at it, just notice how you feel, the expression on your face. It's not an accident that each time I find myself on this seat that I arrive at so many times throughout my day and my week. I can't help but smile and think what an honor it is to pull away from all the busyness of life and find just a few moments of stillness, of reset, of reassurance, of this true nature that exists within me. And so just notice on your own face, in your heart center and your emotions, just notice how you feel, how you've arrived. And then maybe also think to yourself, what an honor it is just to pull away, just to have this consistency of this practice and what it does for each of us, individually, collectively, out into our community, into our homes, our places where we work. We truly become a force for good and compassion and peace. And so today, I want us just to pause and think about some words that were given to us so very long ago and see how they can inform our lives today. There's a quote that sits on my meditation table that says, "When I let go of who I am, I become who I might be." Those words were spoken by Lao Tzu so long ago. So listen again. When I let go of who I am, I become who I might be. I have it on a card here at my meditation table, and it's actually a card that was given to me by my teacher years ago as a reminder that every day I've got to peel off these layers of who I think I am or who I think I'm supposed to be. I've got to peel off these layers of who the world has told me I'm supposed to be. And I've got to be willing to let go of all of those identities, all of those pressures, and then just be able to sit with this person right here and discover who I might be. And as I've thought about that quote, I've studied it and I've sat with it many times. I think what he was telling us is when we sit like we are now, it's not like we're becoming someone new, but we are truly finding a pathway back to the true nature of who we are, who we were always intended to be. But over time, through experiences, good and bad, through years and years of living, all these identities get heaped upon us. And they're not all bad. Often they serve a really great purpose in our life. They're roles in our families. They're part of our profession. They're things that we engage in. But we have to be so careful that these layers don't build up so thick that we don't recognize the true nature of who we are. And so let's just pause just for these next few breaths and just think to yourself. I've asked you this question many times, but ask it again of yourself. Who am I? Truly, who am I? And then begin to just ask this question, you of yourself, and I'll ask it of me. Who have I allowed the world to make me into? The influences of the world are almost like these hands on this clay of who we are, on our spirit, on our heart, on our being. And sometimes these hands just manipulate until the world has shaped us into what it wants us to be. You know, think about you're scrolling through social media and you see something and then it pulls you somewhere else, which then pulls you somewhere else until you look up and an hour has passed and you don't even remember where the first place was that you started. But you've just gone on this trail, this influence, this pull. That's an example of this molding of us. And again, it's not always bad things. It's not always negative attributes. But it's this idea that the world's trying to get us to fit into whatever it needs, instead of allowing us to be who we are intended to be. When we were each born, there was a unique and beautiful purpose that was also born that no one else has, not quite the same way that we each do. And if we allow the situations in our life, the people, the world, the workplaces, the politics, the drama, the violence, if we allow those things to continue to influence and even manipulate us, the unique purpose that we were born to live out doesn't happen. Or it doesn't happen to its fullest. And yes, we still have to exist in this world. We still have to have jobs. We all have families. We have patterns of life that we follow day after day. But think about how we each wake up, the intentions that we set for that day. And then how often we revisit those intentions. And how often we get so bogged down that we can't even remember what that original intention was. And so I'd like for today to be, I said this when we first sat down and began, sometimes this is just the reset. Sometimes there's discovery, sometimes there's quiet. There's reflection. But maybe today for you and for me, this could be a reset. If I let go of who I am, I will become the person that I was always intended to be. And so let's just pause. Let's let these layers just go. And I wish I could tell you that the minute we stand up and we open our eyes, they'll just be gone. But perhaps we can just commit that there is a light inside of each of us, and we want to do everything we can to let that light shine. There's no barriers, no impediments, just the light. Maybe that will drive our intention tomorrow as we wake up. Maybe we'll remind ourselves of it throughout the day. And then by the time tomorrow ends, we'll realize that those layers have begun to be chipped away just a little more. And we'll rise the next day and we'll do it again. Until little by little, we shine through with the full intention of this purpose that we are each meant to live out. So let's just pause, sitting with our reset, breathing, reflecting on the potential of who we really are at our deepest heart center. As you continue to breathe, I want to offer you a mantra that might help along this path of letting go, of releasing the influence of those layers and becoming who we were meant to be all along. There's many Sanskrit words that we use as mantras. We have Shanti, which is peace. We have Karuna, which is compassion. We have Prema, which is love. But I'd like to offer you one that has a little different meaning. The word is Aparigraha. Aparigraha. Aparigraha, when we translate it, means non-attachment. And then in the more informal language we often use, it basically just means letting go. Aparigraha, non-attachment, letting go. And so I'm going to say this just a few times as a mantra that I offer to share with you. Just one word that's my reminder that I need to let go of who I am and who the world has told me to be, and give myself permission to become who I am. Deep down in my core, who I am. So I'll just say it a few times. Maybe you'll repeat it. Maybe you'll just let my word just kind of sit with you. And then if this mantra resonates with you, I encourage you to make it your own. Carry it with you in the coming days as a reminder. I need to let go of all these identities and these expectations that are not really the nature of me. So just continue to breathe slow, deep breaths. Aparigraha, letting go. Aparigraha, letting go. Aparigraha, letting go. And now the next few times, let's use our breath as a gentle reminder of that power. So we'll breathe in, and as we exhale, Aparigraha, breathing in, exhale, Aparigraha, breathing in, and exhale, Aparigraha. One more time together, breathing in, Aparigraha. I wish you a day filled with love and light and compassion and peace. But I also wish you a day filled with chances and opportunities of letting go, becoming who you are. Namaste.